Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your pal Flix here, and today we're going through a lot about wanted levels and bounties in Cyberpunk 2077. Obviously, I'd stay tuned. This is very interesting stuff. Now, guess what? This tanked up cop mecha and this flying psycho squad car. What if I was going to tell you they both could come after you? What if I told you there are wanted stars in the game? There's a lot of info out there for people with eagle-keened eyes, but we'll get back to that later. Oh, it's going to be fun to go over. But first, if you enjoyed this like at any point, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more daily top quality content. And if you're a real one, a real one, hit that bell button as well so you know exactly when a new video is posted and never miss any Cyberpunk 2077 content or info. Except delay stuff, because we are covering that, but not majorly. Speaking of that, this clown made a post saying it's just a game at the end of the day. Just a little joke to ease things up. Alright, now wanted levels. Wanted levels are an added gameplay factor to just causing trouble in between missions, or in missions sometimes, depends how a game would implement it. But let's talk about the elephant in the room real quick. When I say wanted levels, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Flix, this is not GTA 5. Yes, we have been making a lot more comparisons to Rockstar's games, be it Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2 lately, because it's actually the closest thing we have to compare it to for some things, believe it or not. And you might get mad, but the Cyberpunk team has taken some inspiration, we could say, from other games. I mean, come on, they took GTA 5 stars and a couple things from the original Fallout series, aka Frank Horrigan and the Master. We went over that a bit before. Might make a dedicated video. Other RPGs like Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning didn't have any real system for remembering what you did. I legit end up making a joke about Skyrim a lot more, but come on, you can off everyone in a town in Skyrim, then except the essential NPCs, super annoying, then come back and the guard will say, "Hey, do I know you from somewhere?" Then if you walk away, you're pretty much fine. What a joke. Did have some good memes. It had some good memes though, aka, "God, I used to be an adventurer, but I took an arrow to the knee." That's what Skyrim's remembered for. 10 out of 10. GTA obviously had their wanted stars, and RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2, had their bounty system. GTA 5 obviously had their wanted stars, and RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2, had their bounty system. Now, what does Cyberpunk 2077 offer exactly? Well, hang in there. We don't actually know what the system is, but we know it's confirmed not wanted levels by the devs themselves, aka not wanted stars. You're confused, aren't you? Because we just showed you wanted stars in a bounty, yet we're saying that's not a system in the game. Well, that's actually something completely different. Those wanted stars and bounty are not related to the player V, the player you play as, the character you're using. They pretty much combined the GTA 5 wanted stars with RDR2's bounty hunting, but made it into a more repeatable thing, something you can just do in the game world, which is kind of I mean, technically it isn't a quest, so it isn't like a never-ending quest, it's just a never-ending activity, technically. You could just walk down the street scanning people, and you'll find there's someone wanted by the NCPD for something. Obviously, it's more likely to be a faction member that did something horrible. Then again, the Maelstrom guy, which we know Maelstrom is super insane, crazy, nearly cyber psychos. His crime is theft of corporate property. Now, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up that it isn't just a random coincidence, but we know that Maelstrom did steal corporate property from Militech, the Militech gear, including the spider bot. So does that mean that if you get the chip in their systems, the vector chip, then they'd all become known and wanted? Because they're all linked up to that system, right? That's just speculation, though. Just take it with a grain of salt. We don't know how deep or intense the system really goes, or it's just a pastime. We probably won't even know till the game launches, honestly. It doesn't seem like that major of a thing that they'd actually reveal, unless they do like a Night City Wire about activities for some reason. But why do those criminals have bounties and wanted stars, but we don't? Honestly, I don't know. I really don't. It doesn't really make that much sense to me personally, aside from maybe not wanting the player to feel pursued by everything at the start of the game, maybe. All I know is that they've said that they're not doing wanted levels, but enemies have wanted stars on them by the NCPD. If you believe they're hiding something or change something down the line, that's really up to you. You can take it however you want. I'm just telling you the info. Draw your own conclusion off of it, honestly. I have no idea. But let me explain very quickly why not having wanted stars might actually be a good thing, believe it or not. Okay? Knock on wood and all that. Wanted levels were a little bit cheating. The NPCs just had a lock on you, knowing where you're going 24/7, even from 1,000 miles away, until they lose sight of you, and it just ticks down to, hey, you're good to go now. Then you can go back to the same area you were just at as if nothing had just happened. That doesn't really make any real sense, especially not for the immersion the Cyberpunk 2077 is trying to build up and create. Now, I said earlier that we'd get back to Super Mechabot. I don't know why that makes me think of Power Rangers now when I said that. And the Flying Psycho Squad car. Now, the different regions have their own differing wealth, like how rich the general neighborhoods are and how corrupt the coppers are there. As we saw when V was stealing the Ray Field, the Haywood ones were corrupt on the payroll of Arasaka to protect that car, but at the same time, they don't like the corpos much. That's why they let you live. It's really what's necessary, what to help them, I guess, survive or just get paid, not get offed. And we see those were lightly armored, just generally what you'd expect from normal coppers to look like, right? Then you see the armored mecha suit over there. What's going on? Well, crime is normal in Night City. It's a way of life. As we know, crime is at record high in Night City compared to the new United States. I have to look this up. Well, I had to look this up when I was making it, but I just kept that in. Because I like making cool sounding quotes. It has some impact. It was something to do with I'm a big dreamer, actually. And the top search result is this clown's title. Now, I don't know what this is, but if this is the game should be delayed because devs are getting crunched, I'm going to lose it. Tell me what you think. Tell me your opinions, not about the whole crunch is okay, not okay. We kicked that hornet's nest last time. We covered this. Just let's not get into that again. What are your thoughts about mixing politics with games? I guess real world politics with games. I for one enjoy my games without the real unneeded drama. I mean, that's just me. Anyways, sorry about that. We went really off topic for a couple seconds. I just really don't want to make another delay video because it sucks the soul out of me, believe it or not. Like, I'd milk that to oblivion if it didn't just like suck the soul out of me. It's just depressing doing that. But I also have to speak my thoughts, I guess. That's kind of why I have a channel. Anyways, before we lost track, it's a city of dreams. So causing trouble in one of the less wealthy districts or one of the more crime-infested districts would give you a smaller or even non-existent response, because if you're in an area ruled by one of the major factions, how will the coppers respond exactly? How would they even get in there? Now, there might actually be a system where some factions would hunt you down tooth and nail through everywhere. Just take my word on that for now. Just for now. I know, Felix, you're not showing us any proof. You don't have to believe it right now. I'm still working on that vid, and I don't honestly want to spoil anything right now for what's going to be in it, so stay tuned. The devs themselves have said that offing someone might be a normal thing in Night City, but odds are it's not so much in the wealthier places. Now, Psycho Squad. It was the very first thing we saw in the little teaser 8 years ago. I wasn't there for the teaser 8 years ago, I'll be honest with you. Most people weren't, because I don't believe The Witcher 3 was even released at that point. Released in 2015? They've undergone a slight redesign, which saw Psycho Squad again in the Postcards of Night City trailer. So what is Psycho Squad? Psycho Squad is an elite branch of the NCPD that's mission is pretty much to take down cyber psychos. Now, V could work for them, I suppose, take down cyber psychos in the game world and get some powerful weapons. We know this based on the press version, and that the press obviously played. Oh, in case you don't know real quick, cyber psychos are people that underwent cyber psychosis. What on earth does that mean? Well, Well, that means they pretty much became psychos by getting too many implants in them. They changed too much of themselves that they pretty much lost their humanity and went crazy. Before you ask, no, V can't become a psycho. That's already been confirmed. Made a video about that. Go back and check that out. Or click the eye in the top right. Now, I could be talking about Psycho Squad all day, but we're here to know how they impact our actual gameplay, right? Well, even though crime is normal in Night City, rampages aren't. If you go on a rampage, the NCPD would mistake you for a cyber psycho because who in their right mind is going on a rampage for no absolute reason? And send out their elite psycho squad to take you down. And then you'd obviously have a real tough fight on your hands to deal with. So I'd recommend you maybe think twice before going on a rampage. Who am I kidding? Everybody's got to experiment a bit, right? Because if done right, Psycho Squad should, I'm fingers crossed, it should be an extremely difficult thing to have to deal with for even a high level character. There shouldn't be any scaling involved with them. Please don't put scaling. They should always show up as super tough people to discourage people from going on a rampage at the start. At least that's what I'm hoping. Because they've got tons of, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to deal with them, by the way. Eventually, you should have a character powerful enough to actually deal with them, but not like in the start or mid game. It's like late game. Think of it like Death Claws in Fallout New Vegas. You could deal with them earlier on, depending on your perks and depending how you choose the game. Like every game's going to have some sort of meta that's just overpowered. Fallout New Vegas had the shotgun and stay back perk, where you could just decimate them really early on. But the general progression of the game is to take them out with an anti-material rifle or a gust rifle, which is super late game pretty much. Because it has to be a high level character because they've got like tons of implants and the best armor and the best weapon. Like, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I guess everyone's going to have to experiment a little when the game comes out, aka me, We're going to see how tough those people are. We're going to see how tough Smasher is. Adam Smasher, that is. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, how long are we? How long have we made it in? Not bad. Usual length. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed this video, you know what to do. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, then I guess you're going to dislike it and crush my soul. But I'd salute you for making it this far, honestly, if you didn't enjoy it. And subscribe to keep up to date with all the new top quality content about Cyberpunk 2077. Haven't said it that way in a long time. Post outro time. You'd be surprised. These actually take an hour to write. I didn't realize that till like today. I changed this up a couple of times just to get the right amount of, flicks charm into it before going full on cringe. I don't know, this was really fun to make though. Honestly, it really was. I'm more excited about that, how the factions are hunting you down though, because that's actually being a pain for me. It's like, I need just a little bit more. Just give me a little bit more Cyberpunk, but their devs are in hiding, so probably not. Anyways, we're rambling a bit right now, so just have to tell you a bit about myself. I'd say peace, ladies and gentlemen. I'd say you're amazing, but you already know that, right? Best outro ever.